Global DJ Network, our by DJs for DJs Facebook group, or if you're joining us on our old-fashioned Facebook page, hey, it's the same stream, but do get into Global DJ Network. It's better. Okay, you might be joining us on YouTube, in which case, welcome. Good to have you on the live stream. And today's live stream is all about this, the Denon DJ Prime Go, which has just arrived literally in our studios a couple of hours ago. Not had time to even look at it yet because I've been in meetings and stuff. So we're going to do a probably very ill-advised live unboxing of this today. So we'll try and get it working. I've no idea what I'm going to find in the box. This hasn't been set up. I really don't know what's in here. We know there's a Prime Go in there, but I don't know whether I can get it plugged in or anything. But I thought we'd do a live unboxing of this. We've been talking about live streaming an awful lot recently, haven't we? Well, this is one of those times when live streaming can be a lot of fun or it can go horribly wrong. We'll find out. So that's what we're doing today. We're doing a live unboxing of Denon DJ's Prime Go unit. We will try and get some music playing on it. We'll try and look at the features. We'll try and get it plugged in. But if not, we'll just have a look and we'll talk about the unit. You can ask questions and I'll do the best I can to answer some of those questions. So before we get started, actually, let's just tell people who are new to this. I'm Phil, I'm the Digital DJ Tips founder, and Tuesday Tips Live at this time on these channels is where we just give something back. We just chat DJing for an hour. It's a big Q&A. We started doing DJ live streams at the weekend where we just play music, but we're not playing music here. What we're doing here is answering questions, giving you some advice, helping you move on in your DJing, helping you become a better DJ or a better DJ producer. We do all of that because we're a DJ school. We're the world's biggest DJ school, 24,000 students and counting take our online training. So that's all over on the digitaldjtips.com website, as is all the other stuff we do, the reviews and so on. This, though, is the weekly free lesson for everyone. And that's what I'm going to do for the next half hour or so. We're going to just get stuck in. We're going to geek out. So if you want to geek out, and if you know people who would be interested in geeking out with us as we unbox this, please hit share, please hit follow and like and all that normal stuff. It really helps us to do these things if you can just do that one thing for us, especially in these times when, let's face it, we haven't got much else to do, have we? We're soldiering on here in the studio, but it's only me here, so I am kind of self-isolating. I can't think of a better place to self-isolate than surrounded by DJ gear and all my favourite DJing paraphernalia. Right, a few comments before we get going, because I know I can see hundreds of them popping in over on the comment cam, and then we will unbox this, the Denon DJ Prime Go. So you've got time to share this now with your mates, get everyone watching. Let's do this together, and let's go and get a few early comments. So welcome comment cam people. I'm just going to say some very quick hellos here before we go and do that unboxing. I know a lot of people are going to be looking forward to it. Jolly Beats just says, you guys are awesome. Well, it's very nice you say that to us, Jolly Beats. We like you too. The next one, hello to Cool DJ. Hello to Jolly, who says, I'm a beginner DJ. Right, well, that's good that you found us, Jolly. Freestyle Ali says, wow. Yeah, a lot of people are looking forward to seeing this for sure. All right, Eric on Facebook is saying hello from Poland. Hello, Eric. Good to have you here. We've got We Are Electron saying, yo, man, new controller. Yeah, they've managed to get it through. The post is working. First piece of post any of us have had for a long time. What a piece, eh? Faye, K-H-E-L-I-M or something like that, says, hi, the first time I got to watch this live. Well, that's absolutely awesome. Rashad says, yes, I've been waiting to see more about these units. Right, well, we're really looking forward to it. Hi to Michael, hi to Irvik, hi to Juanmi, hi to MuchLove007, hi to Wayne, who says, wow, you got that quick. I'm still waiting for my Prime 2 to arrive. We're still waiting for our Prime 2 to arrive too, Wayne. Jesse says, what's up, Phil? Hi to Michael and Matthew, and hi to Neil. Good to have you, Neil. Not seen you for a little while. Hope everything's well with you. Hello to DJ TV, always good to have you here. The sexiest piece of gear to come out since the original Prime 4, says DJ TV. We're going to talk all about it in a minute. Loads more hellos, but I know that you're going to be dying to see this piece of gear. Let's head back over there then, have a look at it. Let's get it unboxed, and I do mean it. I've not unboxed it yet. I don't know what we're going to find. So let's do it together, folks. Okay, so the box says 2-deck rechargeable smart DJ console. It's rechargeable, this thing. It's got a battery in it. That means you can charge it up and take it anywhere. It also has Tidal streaming, and I'm pretty sure it's got SoundCloud streaming as well. And those streaming services use Wi-Fi. So in theory, all you got to do, I mean, shame it hasn't got a speaker built in, right? In theory, if it had a speaker built in, you could literally do all your DJing without any wires apart from your headphones. But no speaker built in. Anyway, so yeah, it's a pretty advanced piece of kit for all those reasons. Let's just get it here and have a look at it. I'll spin it around this way so you can see it like this. And let's just get this box open, see what we find in here. So we have the Denon DJ Prime Go instruction manual. It's going to be the quick start, isn't it? You normally have to get the downloadable version of the manual to really get under the skin of it. There seems to be a cleaning tool, cleaning cloth. Seems to be a number to stick on the back of it. Maybe this is a demo model, so maybe this is a, I don't know. That's the MAC number of the unit. So you're going to want to stick that on your unit. You don't want to lose the MAC number. The safety instructions and warranty instructions, and then a pretty basic looking guide. I'm just looking now to see if there's anything that's going to trip us up when we start DJing with this thing. There might be drivers if we want to plug it into a computer, but we're not going to plug it into a computer today, so it might be all right. A suite of Denon DJ stickers for all those of you who like to stick stickers on the back of your laptop and stuff. So we have a classic USB cable. It's the old style USB. This is for plugging into your computer to use it with, well, I'm not sure why you'd have a USB on a standalone controller. We will find out. There's no hard drive built into this, so you're going to have to use your pen drive to get music on and off this, if I remember rightly. To give you a bit of backstory, we had this unit in our hands back in, seems like a long time ago now, back in Miami, at Denon DJ press event back in January, middle of January, beginning of January. It seems like ages ago. Getting on a plane, flying somewhere, and had a good play with it. I made a video of it back then, but you know, so much has happened since then, in and out of the DJ world, that I've forgotten a lot of this. So I'm going to be rediscovering this alongside you guys and girls here. So there is a review of this. There is a kind of a first review of this over on Digital DJ Tips, but this is actually the production model that we got here. So it's very exciting. All right then. Move back to the overhead camera. I'm just going to brighten that camera up a little bit. It looks a little bit dim, doesn't it? It looks a little bit sad, our overhead camera. There we go. That's nicer. Let's get some sunshine back into this. All right then. So we have a power box, power brick with a low voltage input here. So I always like to see, I've got to be honest, I like to see the transformer built into a unit like this. So you plug a nice big chunky kettle lead in the back, IEC cable in the back, and you don't have to deal with one of these. But anyway, this isn't the only device that has gone down the route that I don't like. Anyway, so here, at least this brick hasn't got the plug attached to it, because that's, again, it's just easier to go wrong. Here we have the power cable. Now this is an American cable. I've probably got one of these with a European plug on it, a UK plug on it rather, we're UK here. But this one here is probably hard for me to find. So hopefully under the desk here, I've got an adapter that I can get this American lead working in, so we can get this going. I hope it's not, I hope it's a dual voltage thing. I hope it works 120 and 240, or else we're gonna have a big bang when I plug this in. If you're just joining us, by the way, we're doing an unboxing. I can't remember the last time we did an unboxing. I certainly can't remember ever doing one live, but hey, strange times call for strange measures, right? Why not do an unboxing live? It's going to take as long as it takes, of the Denon DJ Prime Go unit. This one here, battery powered, standalone, portable, $999 US. I think the price is coming in at. And it's cute. Just got it out. It's cute. I forgot how cute this little thing is. It's tiny, but it's metal. Wow. Even I'm excited now, and I've been doing this for 10 years. Oh, look at that. It's like having a little baby. Look at it. It's lovely. It really is lovely. Let's get this stuff out of the way, get the overhead camera on, and let's have a closer look at it. Here we go. The Prime Go from Denon DJ. Now, first impressions of this unit. It's lovely, it's metal, it's solid, it doesn't feel plastic, it doesn't feel like any small controller. You know, like the iPhone SE, remember those? They didn't feel cheap in any way, did they? They were just small. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting off this. The jog wheels are tiny, but you forgive that on something that's so unusual. You forgive this. They feel all right because it's so unusual. Things aren't where they should be. You've got your horizontal low, mid and high and level instead of this way because you've got that massive screen. So I'm just going to zoom on that a little bit more so you can see it better. And it's just a very unique looking device. It's the best way of describing it. It's unique looking and very, very sweet. Very cute little thing. So let's have a little talk around what's on it before we actually plug it in. So we have deck 1 and deck 2, level and low, mid, high. There's no up, down. These are the input. There are up, down, sorry, here, but these are the trim controls. So these are like your gain controls, and here's your 2 decks. There's only 2 decks on it. This is strange. So these 2 are your deck areas, but these 2 faders next to each other like that feels really strange to me. I guess it happens on other devices. It's because there's such a big gap between these 2 faders that those 2, I don't know, they look like that's a volume, but obviously it isn't. It's a pitch. So we've got that there. Up here we've got 1 effects unit, which kind of makes sense. You know, it's a tiny device. Up here we've got all our levels. We have mic 1, mic 2, booth and master. So it's got a booth output. We'll look at all the plugs and sockets on this in a minute. This is our load area. We're going to plug this in a minute, by the way, folks. I just sort of talk you around the unit first. Sweep effects. So these are going to be your filters, but also other things as well there. We've got our sync and key sync buttons here. Auto looping on both decks. Nice to see that, just really simple. Loop jump, loop move, and on off there on the looping. We seem to have 4 cues, if I remember rightly. Hot, loop, roll and bank. So you can switch bank between 8 buttons here, but you've only actually got 4 physical buttons. Play, pause, cue, pitch bend. Denon loves its pitch bends. We've got a vinyl mode button, so you can have this as CDJ mode if you don't want the scratch stuff. And you can edit the grids. This has got a grid edit on it as well. So that's kind of like talking about there. That'll be the on-off button. We will turn this on in a minute, folks. If you've just joined us, we're doing a talk around of this little device, the brand new Denon DJ Prime Go. Literally just arrived in the studio, so we thought we'd unbox it and have a little close look at it as well. Very cute it is too. So on the back, from left to right, we have the, let's turn it around so you can see this the right way up, just for the sake of not confusing you too much. Balanced outputs, XLR outputs, stereo and mono. I love having that stereo and mono. It's just good to output mono. You've got a PA system where the speakers are serving different parts of a room rather than a kind of stereo soundscape, if you like. Right, we've got a normal unbalanced master out there. We've got the booth XLR, the booth TRS outputs here, so pretty standard, but good to have all that. Auxiliary in, that's nice to see. 2 microphone inputs. We've got USB, we've got a USB media input, so this is where we would plug in our USB device. Not on the top by the look of it. A link, which is nice. So this is our Ethernet, our link cable for plugging other gear in and other stuff. Presumably we can link in the internet as well if we're going to be using a lot of streaming on this. There's the on-off button actually. So I'm not sure what that button is at the top. We'll find out in a bit. And we've got our USB-B for plugging into a computer there as well. All right then. Look, it's clearly got some power because I pressed the power button and it's come on by itself. The battery's charged. Nice one, Denon. However, I will try and put our lead in as well, just in case we lose the power, just in case there's not very much power. Press and hold button to turn on. So it's given us it's an eject button. That's an eject button for the unit around the back. Yep, unit's shutting down. Right, press and hold power button to turn on. Let's do that. Where was it around the back? Excuse me, I put my head right in here. It was somewhere there, wasn't it? There it is. Right. Press and hold power button. There we go. I've pressed and holded. Is holded a word? I don't think it is. Okay, so I'm going to plug in the power just off camera now. Or if you want to just give me a second, because we want to get some power to this so that we know it's going to stay online and we're not going to lose it. So I'm feeding the power cable in as you're watching that thing doing its thing. Not doing very much at the moment, we have to be honest. Let's have another view of it while I do this. There you go. There's a little hero shot, they call them, those shots from the side, those diagonally lit shots. Here we go. Right, here's our power. And typically I've pulled it up the wrong hole. Happens to me all the time, that. Boom, boom. Right, let's get it up the right hole. Give it half a chance of actually reaching the socket. There we go, power on. Right, I have got an American socket down here, so that's good. Let's plug that in there then. And now we should have our power to that. Oh, it's gone off again. Oh, it's telling me power's on though. Got this little sign there that says power on. See it better there. So maybe it needs me to turn it on again when I've plugged the mains power in. That's strange. If you were DJing, I wonder if it would just go off if you felt your battery going flat and then you plug the power in. I don't know. All right then. Now what I've done is get on this drive here. Didn't have time to do any engine stuff. On this drive here, I've just got some tunes, just got some tracks. So I'm going to put that in the back here where the USB media goes. Insert media source, it says on the screen here. And there we go. It's now pulled my media source up. This is looking good. I can see all my tracks instantly. That's looking good. So there's no, it's probably going to analyze these in the background for me actually. Now I can use this, but also I can use this touch button here. So this is our network. Ah, you see, I can now connect to the network. Let me connect to the Digital DJ Tips network while we're here. So this is found the Wi-Fi network in the room, and that's going to be useful for all the streaming features like Tidal, for instance. So it's now connecting me up to the network. Let's plug in some audio as well while we're here. There we go. So we now got the audio there. It's taking a long time to join that network. So while it's doing that, I will just remind you what we're looking at here. We're looking at the new Denon DJ Prime Go unit. And this has just arrived in our studio and I'm just literally unboxing it at the moment for the very first time. So while we're waiting for that to connect up, let's go and take some more of your questions and then we'll hopefully get some music playing through it on the next segment. So hello again, folks. Hello to Brian, who just says, hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well. We are, Brian, thank you. DJ Tech Reviews Ireland says, thanks Phil, we've shared this from Ireland. Well, thank you very much. And I hope you're well over there in Ireland. So I'm looking for, thank you very much everyone, Daniel Ervik, Zanheim, W Dubs, Lawrence on Facebook, Ivan, Ho, Mikhail, and Stephen in the UK. Thank you to all of you for just saying hello. But I want to come and see if we have any actual questions I can help you with while we're waiting for that. Still trying to find my Wi-Fi network there. So, oh, that was weird, wasn't it? That focus thing. Fix focusing on webcam. Notes to self. This is from Pete. He says, hey Phil, does this work on algorithm? Not that we know at the moment. You might be able to map it to algorithm software, but way away from trying that at the moment here. So I don't know. I really want one of those, says Kevin. So we're waiting for updates on the Prime 4, says Jesse. So DJ Jacob says, super excited to see the new Go in action. Great stuff, Phil. Greetings from Amsterdam. Hello to you, DJ Jacob. Dieter says, a very original DJ console, can't be compared to anything else on the market. Agree completely. I think that's why this is it's been received so well by DJs, because it's so unusual. Maybe Denon DJ is starting to make entry-level controllers. Well, it's certainly not an entry-level brand, and I think $1,000 isn't an entry-level price either. I think it's more kind of unique controller, to be honest. It's kind of unique. It's the best way of describing it. Nothing else like it. Michael says, oh snap, this is super exciting. Michael, I know your gear buying tendencies. You can't stop yourself, can you? Well, I don't think it's available quite yet. So there you go, Michael. Don't be going over to Amazon immediately. Alex says, hello from Israel. I've got a Prime 4 and I can't wait for this one. I don't like where the EQ is, says the World of Rasmus. You need to swallow an awful lot of, God, that camera's really getting on my nerves. Let's move that out of the way and see if it helps. You need to swallow an awful lot of things that are unusual about this controller. I think that's a fair thing to say because it's so small, which is kind of fair enough, I reckon. All right then, that would help pass some time during lockdown, says Leon. I'm intending to live stream from this thing when I've got my head around it. Okay, let's go back to it. Let's go back to the unit. So it's telling me that my live stream login has failed. I cannot believe that I couldn't type our live stream, our Wi-Fi login, not live stream login. I couldn't believe that I got that wrong. I think that's correct and there's an issue here, but anyway, we'll find out. So it's now having another go at connecting to that. Anyway, don't really need that connected up in order to have a look at what we're doing here. No, it's not liking that network. We'll get back to trying that again later. So we won't be able to test the Tidal on this today, but I guess that's fair enough. We can test that another time. What we do want to do is get music playing. So in the back there, I have a USB drive, and it's found all these tracks. So here they are. You can see that this screen is scrolling really nicely. I know that the camera's picking it up all right, but it's quite small, but it feels beautiful. So let's get a track loaded. Let's load the track I've currently got there onto deck number 1 by pressing load. There we go, it's on deck number 1, and hit play. See what happens. Right, so that is apparently playing now. There's our master volume. Now I can't hear anything coming out right now. That's plugged in, that's over, that's up. So I'm going to have a little look under the desk and see if the issue is the volume on there. And it isn't. So we're certainly playing at the moment. Now have we got a master output here that I can't see? Right. Ah, it's not actually moving. Right, there we go. You see, this is live, folks. So that master output is now moving. And you can hear it. I can see you can hear it. Awesome. Right, there we have music. I cannot hear this yet. Maybe I have to turn on my speaker as well. That would always help, wouldn't it? I'm just fiddling with my speaker to try and get some volume. There we go. Awesome. Right, we have power. I'm going to turn that master down a bit. I know that might not be loud enough for you to hear properly, but I want to make sure you can hear my voice okay. All right, so let's play. So what have we got here then? So I can turn the library on and off like that, which is cool. I'm scrolling through my library here. I wonder if I can hide that. There's no need to hide that because I've got the waveform here. So I can still see the library, so I can access the whole library there, or I can just have my waveform playing there. I can zoom in and out of the waveform like this. That's pretty cool. All feels good. Let's load a track onto the other deck. There we go. I've got a track here. Notice it's beat gridded the track. You probably can't see very easily, but the beat grids are all in place. Now, bearing in mind, these were just MP3s. I didn't do any analysis. All the analysis has happened in this unit. So it's done all the beat gridding inside here. It's got a computer in here. So you don't have to have anything done beforehand. You can just literally walk up with a lot of tunes and play directly from the unit. All right then, let's hit the play on this and just see how easy it is to use. Right, immediately. Where's the sync button? No headphones. I'm going to need to sync it up that way. So first thing I've learned is the hot cues, they play instantly when you hit them. So you can't just do the stuttering. I'm presuming there's a setting that will change that. My speaker's got a delay on it, which makes beat matching absolutely impossible. I've no idea why the speaker under the counter is giving me a delay. I think it's feeding back what you're hearing, that's why. Let's see if there's a little button I can press to change that. Anyway, you haven't come here for a DJ lesson, you come here to look at this unit, right? So, this all feels cool. Hot cues. Coloured hot cues, so they're giving them a colour, which is awesome. Loop, so I wonder what loop's going to do. I guess this is going to be a loop roll. Oh no, this is manual looping. Oh, that's cool. So we've got manual looping in there as well. We've also got auto looping. Loop roll is the next one. Now watch what the waveform's doing here. Again, this is going to be hard to see because we are quite small on the screen, but the waveform is showing you slip. So if I hit loop roll, this is where the track is, and this is the bit I've held. When I take my hand off, it returns. That's a really nice thing that Denon DJ have done on their other gear as well. So we've got loop roll going on there. What else can we look at? Let's have a look at the effects. So let's switch the effects on here, and now I can see some effects. I'll tell you what I'll try and do. I'll try and zoom in just for this little section. I'll zoom in really tight and try and show you the screen a little bit better. There we go. That'll probably make it a little bit easier to see the screen. So the effects are here. And the effects select, when I select the effects, it moves through them here. Again, you probably can't see it very well. Even I can't see it that well, and I'm stood 6 inches from it. But we've got echo, delay, hall, ping pong, auto gate, flanger, LFO, filter, phaser, crush, roll, reverse roll, scratch, and reverb. Very, very generous set of effects there. Let's turn on a auto gate. So that's on. Assign to deck 2. So at the moment, I'm not getting an awful lot happening with that auto gate. Let's try a different effect. Great, this is what you do on your own, isn't it? At home, you get a new controller. You don't get the instruction manual out, you just mess around with it. There's a delay. Well, that's definitely working because it's playing it after I, let's put an echo on and check that. Echo. On. There we go. And we've got a load of other effects there as well. I'm going to find a flanger because flanger is always a favourite. I haven't worked out how to... Oh, there's the time. Right, this is the time. The flanger, you want a nice long LFO on it. Off. On. So you've got your effects select, you've got your effects time, and you've got your wet dry here. You can assign it to decks 1 and 2. That's how the effects engine works. And it does work fine. It works great. So if we go back to the delay, now that I've kind of got my head around it, and set the delay to maybe a 3/4 beat delay, this is always a good one. Set the wet dry to maximum. Let's set it to a 3/4 beat. Echo actually, not delay. There we go, so that's set to echo. Nice. Right, so there's loads of effects there. We won't go through them all here, but they are all there and present. So what else have we got to talk to you about? Well, we've already talked through the hot cues, loop, roll and bank. You've got auto loop here. I think auto loop is always worth demonstrating. Instant loop there. Half. Double, just by turning it left and right. And I am guessing that there is a way of getting the loop jump on as well, which I can't see this very second. You know what? This is going to make the screen look a bit better, isn't it? We're doing a live unboxing of this, folks. It isn't just a very rambling bad review. It's literally a live unboxing because it's just arrived in the studio now. So we're just having a little play together as we get used to this unit. All right then, what else can we look at? Vinyl mode. So this is currently scratching, right? Or rather, that's scratching. I can do all this stuff. I can use the edge to nudge, right? Like any jog wheel. It's a bit fiddly because it's so small, and you might accidentally touch the top when you don't want to do that. So you can turn it off there. Now, the whole thing's a nudge, which is nice and quite important, I think, for a unit like this. All right, the sweep effects. Nice. So what we've got here is the usual filter. Middle is a click, and then we've got low pass and high pass. But the second sweep effect is a kind of a fast echo out and a slower one. Nice, really like that. So here's the shift button. This will allow us to put a loop in and then move that loop around in the track. So if I make it a long loop, you can see here, I'm moving that loop all the way through the track. We're right at the beginning of the track now and a little bit further on in the track. So that's what's going on there, although I don't know, I jumped right past the beginning and then I couldn't move it back again for some reason. But anyway, I'll get my head around that. Maybe it'll only trigger the loop once you reach it. But anyway, and I can't see a re-loop there either, something else to look into. Right, we've looked at the effects, we've looked at the main effects, we've looked at the deck controls here, we've looked at the hot cues, loops, rolls. We've looked at down here, we've looked at the way the cues work. Pitch bend is just slows it down and speeds it up slightly. Lots of CD DJs like this. This is battery power, that's the important thing. Look, power off, that's still running. Oh, you couldn't see that because I'd zoomed in too far. I'll show you on the other camera. I've just unplugged the power, so there's no power there at all, it's gone. But it's still working. The only thing plugged into that at the moment is the speakers. So that's really interesting for people who want to take this halfway up a mountain or just take it to practice somewhere on a bus or whatever. I mean, it's a little bit heavy for carrying around. You know, you wouldn't carry it like you would carry your phone or something to do a bit of track preparation. But nonetheless, that battery is something a lot of people are going to find unique uses for this from, I'm sure. All right then, enough of me. Let's go and find out what you want to know. Head over to the chat room and answer as many of your questions as I can about this unit. Michael says, record box stability. I'm not a fan of engine software. They're spending an awful lot of money on their software, Michael, and they are some of the first people to admit that it needed the work. So keep an eye on it. They might surprise you, but yeah, we hear you. I'm just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. We're live here, so I'm just looking for questions that I can answer about the unit. Faye says, I have a turntable set up, but I want to add some digital music in the setup as well to complement my vinyl library. You can't do that on this unit. It's got one auxiliary input. So well, no, actually, you could plug that unit into your existing system and use something like that to DJ digital as well. One thing I would tell you, Faye, is you're probably going to end up going digital and then never touching your vinyl again. Happens to everyone, but just to let you know. Funny, it's called a kettle lead in the UK and a device cable in other places, says Frederick. It's this cable here we're talking about, isn't it? I've probably got one down here. No, I've put them all away, I've tied it up. It's the big one that you plug into a kettle, right? To boil some water. That's why we call them kettle leads. I think the correct name is IEC cable. Anyway, more questions, more questions. They have these at the Times Square Guitar Centre, apparently. It's still open. That's cool. The World of Rasmus says $99. No, it's $999. You ain't going to get that for $99. Wish we could. So can you both pitch bend and scratch? That's a really good question. Should we go and find out if you can both pitch bend and scratch? So let's get that track playing again. It's deliberately boring so we don't get copyright policed. Pitch bend. That's definitely slowing down and speeding up. You can't really hear that, but it is, trust me. And scratch. So yes. Yes, you can. They both work. This is very subtle. Pitch bend controls are very subtle. They're just if you can see the track slipping out, you might want to not want to nudge. You might just want to press this in order to get them back into time. But yes, you can pitch bend and scratch at the same time. More questions. The jog wheels are so small for big hands. Yeah, it does take a bit of fiddling with. I've got to be honest, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. I'm going to try and do a live broadcast on this. Someone's saying that fader on the right side is so wrong. Yeah, but you know, some people like their DJ controllers to be like a mirror image. We put a mirror down the middle and each side symmetrical. Other people like each deck to look the same. It's something that's rolled on and on in controller design over the years. No, there's no right and wrong on that really. However, that's a massive mistake. So we know where you're coming on this one, that the decks aren't exactly the same on both sides. Well, they are, that's the thing. They are exactly the same on both sides, as opposed to one being a mirror image of the other. I feel like it's the pro outputs and inputs, the sound card, etc. at the back of the unit that make this a 1K device. Well, it's also the fact it's got a computer built in. You know, it analysed all that music. It's got the keys of that music. It's beat gridded all that music. It takes a bit of processing power to do that for sure. Dave says, I'm waiting for mine to arrive. The player is off. These comments are from a few minutes ago. Yeah, the player was off. It's live. I don't mind. I'll make a fool of myself in public to get this stuff out there to you. To say there are some major competitors out there, they've come up with such a poor small device, ugly, and so plain and simple. Not for me, says Paul. That's the whole point, not the ugliness, but the smallness of it, the size of it. That's the whole point. It's tiny. It's powered by battery. If you want a big standard layout device, Denon DJ have got them, the Prime 4 and the Prime 2. This isn't aimed at everyone. This is aimed at people who look at it and think, want one. But fair enough. We get you. We hear you, Paul. All right, then. The sound output is brilliant, and that's not cheap in itself, says DJ Black Eagle. True, any Denon DJ gear is going to sound awesome. The pitch control and the volume slider side by side don't work for me, says Darnell. No, a few people saying yes or no on that one. 999, that's insane. I'd rather have an S4 Mark III. Yes, but you also need a laptop. That's got the computer built in. So that's the choice they're asking you to make here. You can link to Tidal on there and DJ from the world's music with nothing else. It's not for everyone. That's the point, but it's something new. All right, then. Derek just says, please send me one, please. All right, then. I'm just looking for more. How long is the battery? They did tell us, and it's in our original review. I don't know for now. However, it's still working now, and I unplugged it a few minutes ago. What scenario would this be useful for? This is a good question. I've never in 20 years come across a venue that doesn't have a power supply. Very good point. What scenario would this be useful for? It'd be a lovely little DJ unit to have at home. I hate that focus. Sort out the focus on your camera, Phil. It's a really good point, yeah. What scenarios? What scenarios do you think it'd be useful for? Share them, please, in the comments. Thank you for that, Shaz. Brian says, changing the pitch knobs might assist. Different feel. Yes, just swapping your faders out might help. True. Lots of you not liking that fader layout. Bobby just says, thank you for everything you do. Digital DJ Tips has helped me so much. Oh, you're very welcome, Bobby. If you've just joined us, by the way, we're looking at this little unit here, the Denon DJ Prime Go. We've just unboxed it in the studio. I've just got it working finally, and got a couple of tracks on it, and we've been looking through it, some of the functions on it. So that's what we're doing here live. What's the cost? It's $999 is the cost of this unit. Okay, more and more questions. Is there a setting where you can make the print larger, says Bobby? Let's go look through the settings in a minute. Why don't we go and look through the settings now, actually, folks? So let's go back to the unit, and I've got to remember how you get the settings up. I'm going to guess you hold down the view and the settings appear. I know that's just too bright to see anything. Let me just, before we go any further with this, see if I can make it so that you can see those settings, and if not, we'll just kind of pull out of this. There we go. If I turn that down there, then at least you can see a little bit of what's going on in the settings at the expense of seeing the rest of the controller. But hey, that's better. Right, utility. So in here, that's actually too dark now, isn't it? Let's turn that up a little bit more. You can tell we're live, can't you, folks? There we go. There's a nice happy medium. So utility setting here, we've got Wi-Fi settings, nudge sensitivity, track preview. That's cool. This is a track preview function on it. Screen. So plugged in and battery. So battery is low, mid, high, very high. You see that? And you can have the same on battery. We're on low at the moment, which is good. So you've got mic attenuation. This will tend to level off the mic if it's a little bit too hot. You can send the microphone to the DJ booth or not. There's isolating EQs. So isolating EQs. The EQs here, normally, you can still hear that music, right? Even though they're all down. Isolator, you can't. It's like a more extreme EQ. People have their likes and dislikes about that. We've got EQ crossovers. Look, this is pretty cool. EQ crossover. Filter resonance. That's how musical the filter sounds. This filter is going to sound very musical now. This is going to sound more like a big EQ knob. Two types of filter there as well. We've got, here's Tidal. So Tidal on or off. So that's it for the utility menu. Preferences menu, track start position. It can start at the very beginning of the track or the first cue point. Default range for the pitch slider, 4, 8, 10, 20 or 50%. Sync mode, it can sync to the nearest bar, the nearest beat, or just the tempo. Just tempo for me, please. Thank you very much. Sync button action toggle or shift to disable. Right, so that means that sync on, sync off, which is how it's set at the moment, or shift disable will be sync on. It won't turn off now. You need to hold shift and press it to turn it off. Your choice there. Nice to see that. The pitch control type, pitch, bend or range. Not sure what that does, but I think it might be to do with the 2 pitch bend buttons at the bottom here. Default loop size, that's cool. So when you hit loop, it will go to 1, 2, 4, 8 or 16. I'm not going to read everything out here. I'll just pull out some stuff here that might be of particular interest because we'll be here all day and I don't want to do that to you. You can lock the playing deck. There's a needle lock. Yeah, so presumably you can, well, no, actually I won't do it now because I'll have to come back here, but you can presumably scroll through on the big waveform to a different part in the track if you have needle lock off. Let's turn that off now and I'll try and remember to do it in a second. Different key notation, that's nice. Camelot, open key, flats or sharps. You can have the key filter to show you compatible keys or matching keys. BPM analysis range. Oh look, deck colors, deck 1 and deck 2. You can pick the color you have. That's nice. Not sure where the color actually shows up. Let's get them in the digital DJ tips colors. Lovely, there we go. All right then, so you've got quite a lot of things to fiddle with there in the utility menu. Let's close that out and go back in there because there are a couple of other things. So we've got the utility, the input source and record. Right, we've got a big record button here so we can record our sets straight to the USB card. That's pretty cool. Be aware that won't work with streaming. And we've also got source. So we can select our input source. At the moment there's only one source there. I'm not sure there'd ever be any more. I guess if we had Tidal in there, that's where you'd see that as well. Right, I was going to show you something and I've forgotten completely what it was now, but I just turned it off. What was it? I just looked at something in this menu and said, I'm going to show you that, and I completely forgot what it was. I was going to try something, wasn't I? Oh, that's right, needle search. Right. So if I want to scroll through, see, I'm scrolling through the track here. That needle search function, just turn that off in case you don't want to accidentally touch this, right? So there's a search function as well, nice big search box with a QWERTY keyboard here. This is all very familiar to anyone who's seen the Prime 4, or indeed the SC5000 controllers, but it's all on here, that's the important thing. Right, I'm going to stop talking now and any more questions, and then I've got to get out of here. I've got a live lesson to teach in a minute. We're asking you to tell us what you want to know about this unit. It's the Prime Go, so please keep talking. I'm going to scroll through your questions and your comments now, throw a few of them on the screen. Neil says, looks like a tidy bit of kit, shame about the price, £300 or £400 cheaper. I think they'd have sold loads more units. I expect it will drop in price personally. What else have we got here? I didn't realise Fisher Price made controllers. I don't think any Fisher Price controller would have quite the amount of customization that we just looked at there, but thank you for that comment. Are those jog wheels touch sensitive? Yes, they are, Kevin. The top is touch sensitive and the sides are nudge, just like other jog wheels. It's a me, DJ Mario says, I caught your balcony DJ live set the other day. Sounded great. It's on YouTube, folks, by the way. A rare example of me actually doing some DJing. It's on our YouTube channel. And Jeremy says the same thing. Nice set the other night, Phil. Hey, I better do this more often. So this is the cheapest standalone 2-deck console. Yes, it is the cheapest standalone 2-deck console. I think the Pioneer XDJ RR is their cheapest. I'm not sure what the price of that is at the moment. But anyway, thank you for giving us substantial content during these trying times. I was intrigued about this, says DJ Dirty. Well, it's what we're here for. So thank you for that. Can the USB be used as an audio out? I use USB audio on my DJing 450 to record my practice sessions. So if you plugged in the cable there and plugged it onto the USB cable and plugged it into your laptop, you might be able to access the sound card from there. I don't know without trying. When you're only using the battery for power, you need to press the button on the screen after the physical button to start using the unit, like on the MPC Live. That was about when I was turning it on a little bit earlier, wasn't it? All right then, so many questions. Andy, this would be perfect for a residency in a bar or lounge where there's cramped space. Indeed it would, Andy. You'd need a computer to load tracks though, right? No, you could use Tidal without doing that. Or you could, yes, you'd need a computer to put them onto a USB drive, but you could DJ straight off Tidal on this and never come near a computer at all. We might go, ha, never, but I tell you, a lot of people will be doing that. I guess it serves its purpose, but it's not really interesting. Jog's too small, EQ's out of whack. Yeah, we've already talked about that. It's not for everyone, this unit. You're either going to look at this and think, I want one. Why do I want one? Or you're just not going to like it, I think. It's for a new use case that no one can quite get their heads around. But I think that's a good thing. You know, it's one in a range of lots of gear. All the other gear in the range makes sense, as in like, oh yeah, that's the pro gear. Yeah, that's the gear for the serious amateur. Yeah, that's the gear for someone just playing. But this is for who? We're not too sure. And that's a good thing. 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 6 pieces of gear pushing new ground. That's why I like it anyway. And for that reason, it's not going to be for anyone. Denon are helping us out. We actually worked this out, didn't we, Denon? You can change the hot cue type between momentary and trigger in the preferences. Thank you very much, boys, for working that out for me. But we did actually look at that afterwards. We are a little bit behind on the comments here. So Denon DJ are on here, by the way, answering questions. Beat jump is achieved by holding shift and auto loop encoder. The beat jump size is married to the auto loop size. Great, we were 99% of the way there, weren't we? What's bank? Bank is the switching between, because you've got 4 cue buttons or 4 pads, but you've got 8 options. So it's switching from 1 to 4 to 5 to 8. All right then, so more questions. I'm just scrolling to pick good ones here. We need a standalone console like this with CD decks for those who haven't converted to MP3s. There used to be one. Pioneer used to have one, I think. No, Newmark used to have one. The mix deck, it was called, the Newmark mix deck. You might be able to pick one up still. All right then. Denon are killing it right now. Loving all their new gear, says Otis. We're looking at this unit, by the way, the Denon DJ Prime Go. And that's what we've been looking at for the last 45 minutes here. It's brand new. We just got it in the studio here. We unboxed it. We got it all set up for the first time. And I'm just answering questions. If you're joining us live, you can watch the replay of this on Facebook and YouTube afterwards. So why on the left deck do they have the pitch and the volume level side by side and the jog wheel to the far left? So why on the right deck the jog wheel is between the pitch and the volume levels? Right, let's talk through this. I will explain why that is the case, Darnell. On separates DJ gear, imagine you had a mixer, a separate mixer, and you had 2 CDJs, right? 2 players. The players would look identical, wouldn't they? There are 2 players. They look the same. Why? Well, because they're DJ decks. And a DJ deck has a standard layout. Jog wheel, pitch fader, transport, and the other stuff maybe isn't quite so standard depending on what you're using. But this bit's pretty standard, right? So whether you're using the left-hand deck or the right-hand deck, they're standard. Scratch and pitch. And there's a mixer between them. So that's why. Now, some people say on DJ controllers, you shouldn't have it like that. On DJ controllers, where it's all in one box, you should have the pitch fader there. So that there's if you put a mirror down the middle, each one would look the same. Other people say no, it's just the equivalent of separate units pushed together for the sake of convenience. So lay them out so the decks are laid out exactly the same. There's no right and wrong on this. And I think the fact that the unit is a lot smaller than some units, this becomes more obvious, right? That you've got the pitch fader here next to the up and down, next to the line volume, right? But you're never going to please anyone with that. You know, you're never going to please anyone with this. But hey, there's a big fat screen here that's touch screen and does stuff that you don't find on anything else. So I think really you're going to love this or hate it. Of course they've made compromises. Look at the size of this thing. Of course they've made compromises. But some people are going to think this is absolutely awesome. Other people are going to think, no, I want a more standard layout. Or a different type of layout. And I think that's kind of where we're going with on that. God, that camera's annoying me. Set focus correctly on webcam for next broadcast. So Darnell, thank you for asking that question. All right then. So I'm just looking for more stuff that hasn't been covered. Beards Mass says rugged, ultra portable, go anywhere, up to 4 hours of built-in lithium-ion battery. This is the ultimate backpackable, most portable standalone DJ controller ever. So there we go. We've got a whole range of opinions here. Ralph says, I just lost it when you took off the screen protector. That's what a live unboxing is all about, isn't it? Coming from a 17-inch laptop, that screen is going to look small. Yes, it is indeed. No arguing with that. All right then, so I'm just looking for more questions quickly. We've been on for nearly an hour, which is far too long. I'm sure you've got better things to... actually, maybe you haven't. Maybe we'll just carry on. Right, more questions. You know, you always pretend that there's loads more to look at, and then you can't find anything, don't you? So would it be possible to sync the BPM with an external source? I very much doubt that at this stage. There's no Ableton link or anything fitted into this at the moment. So no on that one, I would say. I'm just scrolling through to find more questions. Obviously, the trouble with ordering DJ gear at the moment is what's going on in the world, right? It's very hard to get stuff. As the battery reduces in power, will the latency start to drop to compensate for the loss of power? I don't think that will be the case, but we don't know. We haven't tested that yet. Size, battery, pro output, perfect for my needs. Cost isn't an issue. 1 gig pays for it, says Ervik. So there we go. Someone else sold there. Denon, I have to thank you very much for jumping on live and helping out with this. I don't DJ with a laptop and I never intend to unless I play with Ableton or if I'm routing audio for a live stream through the laptop. So there's someone else voting for standalone DJ controllers there. Nick says the real question is, can your laptop actually run DJ software? Oh, this is people having a conversation away from this. Okay. All right then. This is aimed mainly at the US ceremony market where battery speakers are commonplace, and that fits right in. Yes, you have a battery speaker, a battery unit here, and you can go to a little wedding in a little folly out in the gardens of a beautiful venue, and you can do all the reception stuff on that unit and then go into your main gear and do the main entertainment later, as an example. So yeah, good point there. It'd be very useful for that kind of thing. A few of you underlining that. Sinister says, get a pair of battery-powered speakers and you're set for a nice 4-hour outdoor gig. I'm going to be playing with this on our balcony this weekend for certain. All right then, so definitely an interesting little device, says Isaiah. Nice to have you here, Isaiah. Not seen you for a while. Probably not quite something for me, but I do like my current Denon gear and I plan to add more. Denon, please try to add a sampler into your next Prime standalone unit. There we go. For what the functionality is used, it's pretty clever, but the cost will put a lot of people off, in my opinion. That's my opinion as well. I think it should be about $800 personally. But it is a very serious piece of gear. It's got all the pro features in it. So Denon will argue, well, we've packed a lot of stuff into this. But I do think a little bit cheaper and they'd sell a lot more. That's my personal view on this. Would it be possible to, a lot of you asking about whether you can sync with external things like an MPC, but I don't think you can. Steve, looks horrible, sorry. It is going to divide people like Marmite. Those of you in the UK will know what I'm talking about now. Can you add MIDI controllers to it? You can add an external input. There's an auxiliary input around the back, but there's no way of, well, no, it actually has got the Denon DJ link, so you probably could add other stuff to it. Way too early for us to have tested any of that. If you press Shift and View, will you change the waveform style? Pretty sure you won't, but I will press Shift and View for you right now. And there you go. Look at that. Just like on the bigger units. I thought they wouldn't have been able to do that on this unit. How awesome is that? Look at that, folks. We've now got the waveforms playing parallel, just like on the bigger units. Awesome. You guys are the best. Reminding me of stuff I'd forgotten about these units. Thank you very much for that, Javier Cacho Tirado. I enjoyed being told to go and do that, I've got to say. Warren, I honestly don't see the point in this. What's it aimed at? It's aimed at a new market segment that no one knew existed, but everyone wants one. But I totally see what you're saying. You know, that's why I've asked you to tell me, what would you use this for? Outdoor ceremonies seems to be a big one so far. What else have we got? How many mics? There's 2 mics and they have got EQ on side. So the EQ controls for the microphones are, actually it's a good point. Have they got mic EQ? The mics are here. I couldn't see any mic EQ on the look through, but somehow I thought it did have mic EQ. Maybe there's something in the preferences that lets you adjust the mic EQ. I know we saw mic attenuation in the preferences, but actually I'm not sure. With Denon are on, maybe Denon you can tell us, have they got mic EQ in this somewhere? We've got mic attenuation here. I don't know the answer to that. It looks like there might not be mic EQ here. I guess you can't have everything on a unit this size. So at the moment, we don't think so. Maybe they'll put some software EQ in at some point, or maybe I've missed something there. Thank you for that question, Sai. If you think the price is too much, maybe it's not for you. I think it's great for me who does corporate mobile retail gigs, says Ervik. Perfect for travel, something to do on a plane. What are they? 92% drop in plane traffic at the moment here, which is ridiculous, but totally understandable, right? I feel this could be used for DJs who are always traveling and would like to practice or create their set before they reach their next gig, says DJ Black Eagle. Very much something other people are saying. Yeah, for preparation on the on the go. Right, people, I need to leave you. I have another lesson starting now. I'm already a minute late. Thank you very much for tuning in. It was always going to be a bit, oh yeah, oh right, yeah. It's always going to be a little bit weird doing this live, but I hope you've got some value from it. We've been looking at this unit here, the new Denon DJ Prime Go. You can watch back on the whole thing. I've talked you through most of the functions and my first thoughts on it, but more importantly, we've got an awful lot of your thoughts on this unit as well today in the comments. So thank you very much for commenting and joining in. I'll see you again for another Tuesday Tips Lockdown Live next Tuesday at the same time. And tune in on Sunday at 5 p.m. London and 11 a.m. Eastern for another Digital DJ Tips DJ set live stream. We're going to do them throughout the lockdown. So one of the team will be live at 5 p.m. Sunday on YouTube and on Twitch. So come and tune in and join us with some live DJing as well. Or I'll see you next week in Tuesday Tips Live. All that's left for me to say, get good, get out there, make the moments is not the phrase for now. So get good, stay safe and make the moments. And keep live streaming, keep in the communities, keep connected, and we will see you again in one of those. Sunday at 5 p.m. London or same time next week, 5 p.m. Tuesday for another Tuesday Tips Live. Until then, bye-bye, and I'll leave you with the image of the Denon DJ Prime Go. Thanks a lot for tuning in, everyone. See you later.